Super 7 GI Joe reveals and classified series leaks. Oh my, it's con season, so let's deep dive on what we can expect from SDCC and Walmart Collector Con with our special guests, Mega J Retro and Toy Kennections, right now on Toy Habits Live. And before we go live, smash that like button, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss a beat. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael.
And I'm the Toy Sorceress. And you're watching a special edition, breaking news edition of Toy Habits Live. How's it going, Michael?
It's fast and furious today. It seems like we're going to have special breaking news editions a lot this July.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's like, I think con season has officially begun, right?
Oh yeah, it's leaks and then also official reveals. So it's actually an exciting time to see what's coming up, and all the stuff looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. Like we actually wanted to jump on the stream to talk about some of the stuff we're going to talk about in the stream later, and then we just had more breaking news after all that. So we're like, wow. And because of that, we have some special guests that are going to join us in a little bit. But yeah, it's been an incredibly busy day. And we both have day jobs, so we got all this out somehow.
Yeah, busy day is an understatement, but at least all of the reveals are around the same property, GI Joe. So that is good.
Yeah, that helps when it's the same property.
Totally.
So I see there's quite a little bit of people in the chat. If you haven't said hello, sound off so we can see who's there, and say hi to everybody.
Yes.
And while you guys are signing on, we're gonna say hello to our first, actually both our special guests, which are sitting backstage. And let's say a big round of hello and a huge thank you to our first guest that I'm popping in, because this time around, he was the sleuth who brought us the links to all of these awesome GI Joe classified Walmart Con exclusives. Let's give a big round of applause for our good friend, Mega J Retro. Yay! How's it going, Mega J? How are you?
How's it going, guys?
It is fast and furious today.
Our heads are spinning today.
Just absolutely ridiculous. Like, this whole week has been just nuts. I don't understand. Yeah. who's in the crowd control? What's going on? I don't understand how the topic. But yeah, huge thanks to the GI Joe classified collector group on Facebook. Man, everyone's just going nuts over these new figures. But yeah, I just had to send you guys a link right away and said, you know what, these guys have always hooked me up, so I want to hook up Toy Habits whenever I can. You know, just a little bit.
I'm giving you the sleuth hat today.
Yeah, that's awesome. I came prepared. I came prepared too. I've got the Toy Habits mug all ready to go. So we're
yay! I got mine too.
We're rocking. There we go. The Crimson Twins.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And with that being said, we're going to also say hello to our next guest, which is our favorite toy historian, awesome GI Joe fan, mega collector of all things GI Joe, and the guru that we go to give us a special insight. Let's give a big warm welcome to our friend Ken from Toy Kennections. And Ken is not on screen right now because he is driving home from work. But Ken, let's go ahead and say hi, and you'll pop on when you are safely able to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the invites. And wow, like the San Diego Comic-Con ramp up and all this, like, why don't we just call this officially Yo Joe July? Like, what's with Yo Joe June, Yo Joe July, Yo Joe Summer, Yo Joe 2023, Yo Joe 2020's decade? Let's just keep going and going.
Absolutely. It doesn't stop, right? It's a Yo Joe summer for all of us, and the toy tubers never get a break. Thank you for being here, Ken. That's awesome. We're happy to have both you and Mega J. Wouldn't think of anybody else we want on the show to talk about breaking Joe news. So with that, Michael, do you want to go ahead and say hi to the chat, and then we'll jump in on the news?
Yeah, we got Daniel, who is one of our Toy Habits crew members, Benjamin, Frankie Rivera, another crew member, Lord Hoagie, love the name. Too Bad Dad. Giraffe, who is a crazy funny Toy Habits crew member. Joe, and we got Ryan, Michael, Leo, Brennan Barnes, who is a stand-up crew member. We have Pop Actor, who is also hilarious. Allison Troy is in the house, and we are rounding it out with War Journal Toys. Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Hello.
A lot of familiar names.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think they all move across all of our all of our streams and content. So.
This is the greatest community ever.
It is.
This is officially. Yeah, this is officially my first time on Toy Habits. I know you've all been on my channel, but like I feel like this is good. Like got the new car smell going. Like not literally, because not because I'm in a car, but because new car smell, as in here at Toy Habits. Just enjoying the scenery right now.
Awesome. That's awesome, and we have a couple more of your Patreons and viewers that just jumped on with Skyfall. I think you already said hi to War Journal. If not, hello War Journal, and we also got Brian Stadler on the line. So and then Pop Actor, did we get him before? Hi, Pop Actor. I think we said hi. But yeah, so we are having cross-pollination between Toy Tuber channels, and it is so much fun. I'm so happy to have you guys here, and we're here to talk about all this incredible Joe news. Are you guys excited? Ken and Jay, what's your thoughts?
Big time.
I'm bored out of my mind. No, I'm so excited, so excited. Especially while I did my premiere, more sleuthing was unearthed, and we started realizing that these strange purple crystals, and Ken's all over this, I'm pretty sure, but they seem to be infecting the Joes, which also leads to a lot of people realizing that another franchise had the same kind of crystals, which were infecting other characters. So a lot of great Easter eggs happening with these figures. So, and if anybody watched the I was just going to come out and say, anybody watch the Transformers movie, you'll understand why it's such an exciting time.
It sounds kind of like a pandemic or something among like cross-pollinating toy lines.
Just like there's so much in the community, it's infecting everything. It's great. It's awesome. It's awesome.
That's awesome. And Ken, what's your thoughts? I know you haven't had too much time to soak this in. You've been busy working all day, and you just had a short time to just glance at this. But what's your thoughts on all this news today?
Well, I mean, like, there's a lot of questions about, like, okay, who is Shooter? Why is this Crimson Alley Viper important? What's this mole rat character that's been dropped on us? What are these, like, international figures that Super7 has brought back into the fold? And just the internet is sort of like, I mean, some people just hate everything in general, and some people just love everything in general. So I guess it all just sort of cancels and averages out. I say give it all a chance. If you don't like it, and a lot of people don't, it'll peg warm. If people love it, you won't be able to find it anywhere.
I am so perplexed. I'm so perplexed at how many people like you. I'm so perplexed at how many people are saying, "I don't like I don't like Shooter." Who's Shooter? I'm like, who cares? She looks awesome. She looks great.
She looked great. Like, I know where she came from, but like getting different characters in the line is such a blessing. It's like not the old repetitive thing that they're just giving us and just pumping out. And so I think these are what these exclusives should be like. They're not going to resonate with everybody. And the reason why they're exclusive is just because that they're going to resonate with the people that love them and they'll buy them.
But what's great about them too is that people, like, again, throughout the chat, so many people and the comment section, you guys, everyone's starting to notice that certain new sculpted pieces, the new bucks that they're creating for these guys are possible upgrades for possible characters in the future. Right. Yes. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get into that. But specifically, the mole rats are the gift that keep on giving. I mean, they're talking about crossovers. They're talking about new characters that are coming on the line. Like, they are the most exciting figure in this release. But I got to tell you, I'm very, very excited for Shooter. I thought Shooter was an amazing choice for this release.
I am too. I wanted to highlight Allison's comment with Shooter. We're not getting another Snake Eyes.
Yay!
It's a great time,
Allison.
Not that we don't like Snake Eyes, but
I love it. Always bringing the sass.
I love it. We all love Allison, and just to echo everyone's point here about characters and deep cuts and everything like that. I think the issue is the GI Joe classified line hasn't been out that long yet, so people aren't ready for the deep cuts. And since I always relate everything back to Transformers, and Mega J's already made the connection here with the Dark Energon crystals and all that. But like for Transformers, right? Like when they announced DevCon, the Bounty Hunter in the Legacy line, when they said they were going to do a 2-pack of Elita 1 and Dion, people embrace those characters because we've gotten since Transformers came back in the modern era for classics in 2006, we've got Optimus, Megatron, Soundblade, Bumblebee again. We're finally getting DevCon. We're finally getting a modern Dion. We're finally getting a modern Ariel figure. So I think with the GI Joe, if anything, the question is it too soon to get these? But in my mind, if classified goes for 10 years, we're going to get these characters anyway. So what better time than now? Does that make sense?
Oh, totally. And you can tell. I was just going to give a little point because they're doing all of these new bucks and all of these new sculpts. You can tell the health of the line, that it's thriving, that it's got a long way to go, and that the team is doing incredibly well, and that they could take these chances and come out with these deep cut figures and help extend the line, because what they're going to do is, there's a couple deep cuts in a wave, and then you got some classic characters, and that's just going to prolong how long we're going to get to see awesome classified figures in our collection. So I think they're doing it right.
Yeah, I want to.
Well, look at Motu.
Yeah, it's basically they're kind of taking a page from what Mattel is doing with keeping the Masters of the Universe Origins line going, with intermixing deep cuts, different lines into their figures to keep the line going. And I think it's fun. It's going to fund the line for a really long time.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. I think Ken was on that train exactly. He was just about to talk about Motu. But it's also showing as well. In terms of like what's like this week has been crazy, because we were expecting more news. At least Toy Sorceress and I were talking about, and Ken, we were all talking about how they should have released some more news on the Haslab project on Friday last week, and they waited until the weekend. But again, Toy Sorceress and I and Michael, I think all of us were on, and even Ken, I think we're all on the same page that what the hell? Why although I love Crazy Legs, it just seems really strange, right? Really strange that he doesn't have a rendering. He doesn't have, it's just kind of a surprise. And again, a lot of people, I've been watching a lot of channels talk about how they were sure it was this person, but all of a sudden out of nowhere, it just comes Crazy Legs, right? Not exactly out of nowhere. I think a lot of people were hoping for it, but it is, things are where they are. I think you got a super chat there, Michael.
Yeah, we were just going to plus it in. I wanted you to finish your thought there, Jay, but thank you so much for the $10 super chat, Skyfall. You are awesome. Thank you for your support. And Skyfall says, the legend says, Toy Kennections, founded by the Kenpo style of toy collecting. Awesome. Oh, that's such a nice sentiment in there.
Thank you, love Skyfall. It. Thank you, Skyfall. You're so kind.
Yeah, absolutely. Ken is a legend. And I like how, now this is our second Night Force figure, right? That's coming out for Walmart as a Night Force, a Walmart exclusive for this con. And I think that Mole Rat character, even though it's kind of new to us all, it's sort of like the antithesis of the Night Force figures, because they need a foe to fight against when they're going through the tunnels and the dark and all that kind of stuff. So this is the Cobra Trooper type character that they have to battle against. So they did it right to release it in this way. What do you guys think?
I'm also wondering if it's not just going to be a Joe problem. I think it's going to end up becoming a Cobra problem. And I think that because this infection, this disease, or whatever it is that's plaguing these mole rats, I think it's going to start spreading, and all of a sudden you're going to have an epidemic on our hands. And the thing is that Cobra won't be able to contain it, which is why if you look at the shots, they actually send in the Cobra the Crimson Alley Viper team to pacify this threat, right? It's actually Cobra versus Cobra, right? And that's kind of interesting, considering that you know, they have to kind of contain this problem themselves, right? Or take some samples back with them to try and figure out how they can utilize it or weaponize it later. So again, there's a huge expensive storylines that can come from something like this, and I really appreciate that.
That's huge because zombies have an allegiance to nobody.
Exactly. Who they're gonna follow? Yeah.
And zombies are a moneymaker. Like
that's right.
I think that like people love zombies. I don't know what it is. It's just this thing. Like people have this it's in their psyche that they really have to just love zombies.
Look at Walking Dead. How many comics? How many seasons of the show? How many spin-offs?
Well, forget about that. What about Resident Evil? They keep remaking Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4. It's crazy. It's just nuts. Like people love zombies. Got some crazy weird fantasies, man. Like just nuts.
Marvel zombies, everything. You know?
Everything.
Zombies and ninjas.
While we're here, let's go ahead and just take a look at what was announced today. And this is just some awesome stuff here. So we have all of this on our toyhabits.com website where we covered all the news today. First up, let's take a look at the Crimson Alley Viper, and this guy is incredible. Now, I know, Jay, you covered all these in detail on your incredible video earlier, so if you guys didn't catch it, make sure to log on to Mega J Retro's channel. He did an awesome, detailed deep dive on each of these figures and took a look at these. But Jay, since you already got to like study this guy a little bit, give us your thoughts on the Crimson Alley Viper.
Okay, so I'm just one of those types of guys. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. What the heck was with an Alley Viper to begin with? They got the brightest costumes. They're literally like if you're going to go to war, right? If you're going to freaking go and take somebody on, right, in a battle, the one thing you don't want to do with the British figured this out back in the what's it called, the war in the Americas. They figured out that, you know, when you start wearing red coats where people can see you across the bay, you can get shot. Like this, so they stopped wearing those things, right? And I don't know. I guess Cobra never got the message. These things are bright. They're orange. And I'm like, why are these guys here? Why do they even exist? This man's like, hey, come, shoot me. I need this shield just to keep people from shooting me. Like that was always my biggest concern with these guys. I mean, they look great. Now, a lot of people have argued that they actually are urban pacification. You know, they're actually there for riots and stuff like that, and I can agree with that. They actually look more like a riot type of officer, right? But if we switch over back to the Crimson version, these guys look like they're tactical. They look like they are, and they've even got this band across the shield, which somebody I think actually told me that's actually a biohazard type of warning. As a matter of fact, if you zoom in on the eyepiece, right? I didn't realize this.
Oh yeah,
that's a biohazard. That's a biohazard.
Oh yeah,
right. So actually,
this whole wave is like ultra biohazard. Yeah, you know, theme.
Absolutely, and I think that these guys are biohazard containment units right now. So they're setting up a huge storyline. I don't know what it is yet, but this is going to be a huge, massive storyline for these guys. And and you know, I got to give a huge. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Huge shout out to everybody who sent those notes to me. I wish I had written down all their names, but they're all in the comment section on my video. Lots of people just like throwing in little juicy morsels of what these are, and a lot of actual veterans who are commenting as well. Thank you again for your service, because they were saying, yeah, those are ammo pouches. We put them in the front. I'm like, really? What happens if they get shot? You know,
I know. You're just helping the cause, right?
I know. But apparently they don't go off. Apparently, if you get, it has to get shot in a specific area for it to actually go off. So like, you know, there is probably something that happens eventually, but the likelihood of them going off apparently is very low. So anyway, awesome. I don't know. I'm not in the army, but thank you guys.
Oh sure, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to thank everybody for sending me those wonderful tidbits.
Fantastic. Before we hear Ken's thoughts, I'm just going to plus in this super chat we got here from Daniel Hearn. Thanks for your $2 super chat. And Daniel asked a good question. Could Ego Warriors be far behind? Well, that's a whole nother sub-team that definitely can be built out. I don't know. We'll answer that question in a second. First, let's hear Ken's thoughts on the Crimson Alley Viper, and then we can discuss the possibility of Ego Warriors.
Yeah, no, and to echo everything Jay said about people just being so good with bringing in tidbits of information, I believe they did do a similar style Alley Viper. They may have called it Urban Alley Viper in the 4-inch line. I'm not sure if it came out in the 25th line officially or in Pursuit of Cobra, but it was a similar color pattern to this. I don't think it was exact. So just to touch on, like, is it supposed to be urban style? I think it was actually called Urban Alley Viper, and it had, again, similar color style, but maybe not the exact pattern. Maybe that's what they are. Maybe they are for riot control. And Black Major, back a number of years ago, did do a run of bootleg Alley Vipers in the O-ring style, but he used like Fireflies, like urban camo, like gray and black camo color, and I thought that looked really good when he did them that way. So my thoughts on this, like, if there's a storyline coming, I wonder how they're going to do it, because there's no bio on the back of a lot of these classified cards, right? So unless they're planning a Netflix show the same way they did for Masters of the Universe Revelations and Transformers War for Cybertron, because, you know, the big three is the big three. Which of the big three does not have a cartoon yet, right? This is it. So if they're going to appear somewhere, that's the place to put them. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's interesting,
And
Ken.
I want to hear Michael's thoughts. Go.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, Michael.
I wanted to plus one what Ken was saying. Yeah, they actually did a it was a version of the Alley Viper that was from the Pursuit of Cobra line, and that has the same markings on the shield and it has the same markings on the leg. They're just swapped. So I like this because I think the people who are designing the GI Joe classified series and who are working at Hasbro, they take a lot of inspiration from these older lines, and it seems like it's the 25th anniversary, the 50th, and the Pursuit of Cobra that are kind of the blueprints of what these things could look like for classified series.
Absolutely. You have that totally, you hit the nail on the head, Michael. A lot of the times we do find a 25th anniversary counterpart to these figures. And I just wanted to plus in this super chat from our good friend and crew member Brennan Barnes. Thanks for the $10 super chat. You are so generous, my friend. Oh my God, thank you so much. And Brennan says, knowing is half the battle, guys. We need the other half, having more of these in hand. Absolutely, Brennan. You are totally right. And thank you so much for that super chat. Just circling back on our previous question from Daniel, do you think Eco Warriors could be far behind? Whoever wants to answer that question.
Wow. I feel like Eco Warriors, just like Battle Force 2000, was a little less popular as time wore on. I think the people who like Eco Warriors love them, and there's people who will be like, I had that one figure as a kid. Like someone like Cesspool, who's unique, would be a good Eco Warriors release. But I kind of feel like if they're going to lean into the sub-teams, they're going to exhaust everything in Night Force, Tiger Force, and maybe Marauders, Iron Grenadiers, Python Patrol, before they go into Eco Warriors. Because they have to, the Eco Warrior hazmat suits, you'd have to tool up something special for it, right? Like you wouldn't, it'd be harder to use some existing tooling. Maybe you could use some legs, but, you know, so I think the answer is yes, they will get them, but I think they need to continue feeling out the market first, because compared to the other modern lines, GI Joe Classified is relatively new, right? Like, Masters of the Universe Origins is kind of new as well, but there's so much confidence behind the line that they're doing Masterverse and Origins at the same time, and there was classics for all those years, and then Super 7 got classics, so the blueprint for other lines is there, whereas with GI Joe it's always been touch and go. There was 25th, 50th, Pursuit of Cobra, and then when they did GI Joe Classified, it was the first foray into the 6-inch scale. So I think it's inevitable they're going to do Eco Warriors. I just think it's a ways off. That's my thought.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see that they're continuing the windowless packaging, but this time, I think as Jay, you pointed out on your show, they're actually using photos of the figures rather than a digital render, which looks really cool.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting how these things play out. They probably had all of these already set up for the year, so we probably won't see windowless packaging return for at least another year. And that upsets a lot of people, but they shouldn't be upset. At the end of the day, not that they're listening because of what we ask, they're listening because of the sales. I'm not gonna let's just get that straight out here.
Of course.
But in terms of the overall design, I am very happy for that. Even though I love the illustrations, they still kept them in that tiny little corner. But I think I like this better. I like the fact that you kind of at least get to see what these are, and they're not digital renders compared to like Marvel Legends, which continues to do that stupid thing. Like these are not what they look like. Stop doing that. Even in the latest multi-armed Spider-Man that was announced today, that's a digital render. Same thing with Morbius. Like, what are you doing? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Again, it's just a weird little situation that they find themselves in. But
absolutely.
Hasbro.
What were you going to add, Michael?
For the Echo Warriors, didn't they have some sort of gimmick where you splash them with water and they change color or something like that? I don't know why. I remember something.
They did.
Yeah. This was the time about when GI Joe started to go off the rails with all the neon colors and these like wacky designs. And so I think I'm with you, Ken. It's like the GI Joe line needs to feel this stuff out. It's like I feel like Night Force and Slaughter's Marauders, like those are safe bets, and Tiger Force and Python Patrol, but going into these other sublines is going to be a little risky.
Right.
Absolutely.
And leaning a bit into that history as well. Like the popular designs are the Ron Rudat stuff from 1982 to 86. And then Mark Pennington, his stuff was from 86 to 88, and a lot of it rolled into 89 and a little bit into 90. That sort of 82 to 90 era with those two designers is by and large the stuff that stayed popular over the years. So I think that's where they're playing their cards right now, until they see the market shift or they see that they've exhausted the market a little too much. Like I said, Hasbro's got a whole blueprint with Transformers, in their vault there, and they can watch what Mattel's doing with He-Man. So everything comes back to that, right? So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Let's take a look at a couple more images here of the Crimson Alley Viper in these diorama shots, and you can see, they're totally playing on that kind of the Night Force tunnel, dark images with all of these diorama shots. And this figure he looks so cool, so incredible, very, very stealthy, even though he's got, the crimson red on him. But looking fantastic. Look at that shot. You can see, I think that's one of the mole rats on the floor, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like they were going after them too. That is fantastic. Yep. Yeah, there's some mole rats that didn't quite make it.
Pieces of people everywhere.
Absolutely. I don't know what happened in this battle scene. And I think they are using these diorama shots for their storytelling, because we don't have media right now for GI Joe to bring us what these new stories are. And I think they're using the packaging, and they're using these awesome promotional diorama shots to tell the story, and allowing, I guess, the fans to interpret it their own way.
I'm I really am loving these dioramas, and huge bravo to the Hasbro photography team. I don't think we give enough credit to these guys. I mean, they work really hard at this stuff, and it really does help to tell a story. One of these days, I really hope that they'll allow some company to actually officially license some diorama sets, because if we're not going to get a Technodrome, and a Terradrome, they're the same freaking thing, for crying out loud. Anyway, somebody's going to murder me in the comments. If we're not going to get the Terradrome, then at least like commission or allow another company like Ramen, to be able to make these diorama pieces officially. You know what I mean? Like just to like fill in some scenes. I mean, like NECA seems to be building up their worlds with the sewer play sets, right? So I think a whole bunch of just corridors, you know what I mean, that you can actually build upon. I think that would be really, really
backdrops.
Yeah.
Well, toy hacks, right? So.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm just saying that it even though there are toy hacks and other diorama creators out there, it's really, really interesting when you actually get an official license on one of these things, and all of a sudden it just draws a lot of attention to that, and you're allowed to use the symbol. You're allowed to use the symbolism. You're allowed to use the iconography. You know what I mean? You can use all those types of things, and you can actually put in certain screens and telltale iconic icons or sets that you could not do normally, right? I mean, like officially anyway. So I'm just saying, if they allow for a license or something like that for anybody, I think it would be really cool. But I guess time will tell.
That
They
would
did
be
an incredible
amazing.
job with this.
Even Hot Toys is getting into the game of building diorama sets. They're releasing some for the Mandalorian, and they look amazing, especially for the scale of the figures. So I would love some like scene or world building sets that you can place these figures in, because I mean, yeah, we can put them on the shelf and they look fine, but they would look extra special in those dios. So totally would love that.
Oh my god, yeah. That would just be incredible. And even if it was just, like a little backdrop piece with some kind of floor to it, so it doesn't take up too much room. And if they made that kind of some kind of shelf-sized module that is kind of typical for people, so that you're not taking up valuable shelf space, but just augmenting what you already have, I think that would be incredible. Let's take a look at the next release that was leaked today, and that is Night Force Shooter. So she is looking really cool. What do you guys think of this character?
Wait, she's officially Night Force in this release?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
She's actually labeled Night Force. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
I'm all in.
Regular.
I'm all in on this character. I'm all in.
Yeah.
She looks
great. Agreed.
Yeah, so she was originally introduced for the 50th anniversary line, and she came with a 3-pack that came with Falcon and Outback, and they were all basically dressed in black. It was a very Night Force themed pack back when they released it, but it wasn't labeled as such. So it's actually cool that they are bringing her into the fold in Night Force and actually making her like her figure buck a lot more interesting, because she was basically in a black outfit and that was it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, sorry, you go ahead, Source.
Oh no, go ahead, Ken. I was just zooming in on it, but go ahead, please.
Oh no, nothing. I was just going to say that, like, when it comes to Shooter, the reason why I found it interesting that it was Night Force just now was because she didn't have like an O-ring release, right? She was not accepted into the GI Joe canon, like by and large, as the main character until, well, I mean, obviously they showed someone named Shooter in issue number 6 of the Marvel run, but we knew nothing about Shooter. And then when they introduced her as part of the 4-inch line, whether she's Night Force, whether she's not, like, you could almost just buy the Night Force version, even if they release one that's non-Night Force later. This could be your canon non-sub-team Shooter in your own mind, because there's nothing really to supersede that in the way of Sunbow or the original O-ring figures. So this could be your definitive Shooter, regardless of whether she's labeled as Night Force, is all I was saying, right? And nice to call back issue 6 as well by whoever's running this operation and choosing to put the characters in.
Yeah,
those are wonderful insights, Ken. Absolutely.
Chaz the Guru's got some zingers in the chat. I think pretty hilarious.
You want to plus them in, Michael?
I will. Yes. Chaz the Guru. She's going to be the new calendar Ladies of Night Force.
That's awesome.
Chaz.
And thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Daniel. You are too kind and too generous. And Daniel says, "Hubba hubba."
I think he's in love.
Is this going to take Zarana's place?
Well, you
don't
Daniel,
want to how fond you are of Zarana.
You don't want to mess with this girl, though. She is incredibly strong. That's a 50 caliber rifle there. That thing has a kick like a mule. That thing will put, not only will it put a hole in you about this big, okay, but the kickback is just ridiculous. Like the fact that she can hold that and fire it is absolutely ridiculous. She is a very strong individual. This one. It should also be noted,
almost as tall as she is.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It should also be noted, if you want to zoom back in on the head. Toy Sorceress. Whoever put this together for this shot did not actually get it right. It's actually on top of her head. It's actually it needs to sit lower. So anybody who's like, why does her face look that? Look, it's actually, if you look at the glam shots, you'll notice that it actually sits a lot lower. And she comes with 2 different hairstyles, which just is so great. I love the fact that they're including multiple styles on these characters. It's awesome.
She has like a braided hair and then this other hairstyle. So that's awesome.
But it also,
and, there. Oh, go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go finish yours.
I was just gonna say they're really getting into like the tats on these guys, right? You know,
Yeah.
all these figures are now getting tattoos, and this one's killer because I think we might be able to see it better in another shot, but it's basically a cobra with a arrow through it, and we'll see it in another photo.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
They're actually highlighting that on the back of the box, which I think is great. There's definitely a story. There's definitely a story on that for sure. The other thing is, I like the fact that she's got braided hair because it really ties into the idea that she is a shooter, that she is probably a sniper as well, because she's got to get her hair out of the way from her face, right? So whenever she's on a very stealthy mission. So if you look at the back of the packaging there, it actually shows her forearm, and they've actually made it a point to highlight it as a feature. So that's huge.
There it is.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
Yeah, there's some world building here. I'm hoping that eventually we'll get a comic book or something like that, because there's definitely something going on here, and we might as well dive into it now. Actually, probably when you get to the mole rats, we'll dive right into the Transformers connection here.
Yeah. And Michael, do you have any thoughts on what are your thoughts on, like, take a look at this new packaging, and again, you can see some of those crystals in here, and they use the actual figure.
Yeah, I really love the face sculpt of Shooter. I think they did a fantastic job in just like giving her a more interesting uniform than she had in the 50th anniversary, like 3 3/4 inch, 4-inch release. But yeah, I'm digging the I'm digging the art, digging the figure, and I love the direction that they're taking. And yeah, I want them to build out that entire Night Force line, and introducing new characters in it is fantastic.
She's looking incredible. Here you can see with her included hair sculpt there, and then this one has the alternate braided hair, and she's got
it's sitting at the right level now. It's not like above; it's actually right where it's supposed to be. So, yeah. Again, kudos to the photography team. They're really doing so. I love the mood and the lighting. It's just amazing.
Yes.
Oh my god! And again, they're in that same underground scene. And here you can see, I believe those are either some zombies or some mole rats. It's hard to tell, but these look like zombies in the background, right?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out if those were the mole rats. I don't think they are. If you zoom in on them, there's like they've got more red top. There's something going on there. I'm not 100% sure what.
They look a little different. You're right.
Yeah, there's also zombie Cobra Troopers on a leaked list too, so they could be hinting at that too. So they're also taking a page out of the Motu universe too, with providing all these Easter eggs and teases on the packaging, which I want them to continue because it's so freaking cool.
I know, right? Let's go ahead and display. We got Daniel's super chat here again. Daniel, you are too kind, and Zarana likes to experiment. I won't choose that one. Daniel, you are too funny. But taking a look at her outfit and all of the detail. This is a brand new buck. I think you mentioned that, Jay, and all new sculpt. This is just incredible work. Ken, what do you think? Oh, Ken, there you are. We got you. Actually, now we can see you. That's fantastic.
Yep. So. Sorry, just reading the chat, just scrolling up and seeing what I missed, seeing if any other zingers in there from Silver K or Allison or Chaz the Guru again. Or
what did she look like originally? Do you guys have that photo?
Yes, we do.
It's in the article. She's all black, and that rifle is massive. It's actually taller than she is almost.
Wow. Could you imagine like carrying that thing around if that's what your weapon? But
that's what I'm saying. She's incredibly fit. You know what I mean? She's got to be able to basically lug all this equipment around. It's crazy. So yeah, I definitely would not want to get into a fight with this person. This is that is one.
I don't want to run into her in the back of an alley.
Arm wrestling.
You're assuming she can carry that weapon, though. What if she can't? What if she's just flexing and it just ends up kind of being nothing at the end of the day?
If she called a shooter, she's got to be able to carry it. So.
Okay, she was an OG Joe. So okay, fair enough.
And let's plus in another super chat here from our good friend Red Foreman. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, saying, "Hope you all are having a great evening. Thanks for joining us, Red."
Hey, Red Foreman, good to see you.
Awesome here. This is great. So now let's dive into unless Michael, do you have anything else to add on Jody Shooter Craig?
No, let's jump into the mole rats.
Awesome. So this one was creeping me out, I gotta say. I'm not into zombies and all that kind of stuff, so I'm gonna let you guys chime in on your thoughts on Mole Rat. Michael, why don't you go first?
Yeah, I'm like ninjas, and I know that I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. Like, I don't care for ninjas and I don't care for zombies, but I do like the fact that they included an alternate head that you can actually cover up the zombie version and kind of do an RB builder that way. But I think I'm probably one of the few people that doesn't like zombies.
I'm not the biggest fan of zombies either, but
yeah, me neither.
But you know what? There are a lot of things in this character, and people were breaking it down as I was talking about it. So I think we'll get into the breakdowns afterwards. But Ken, what are your thoughts on initially on this figure?
Well, I think this is, unless I'm missing, this is one that really came out of left field because I don't think there's anything to tie it back to. I think this is an entirely new and unique classified creation. And I did, while I was walking between appointments earlier, tried to like Google this one specifically because I knew I was coming on here and didn't want to sound like an ignoramus, but that ship has sailed. So for me though, like this is all headcanon.
You are like a guru.
You know, I mean, the word guru can mean good or bad things these days, as you know. But you know, I won't touch that one too much because I'm a guest. I'm a guest.
You're way too young for that.
There we go. All right. I mean, I'm on somebody else's channel, so I'll be nice. But this is all going to be about headcanon, right? Because, like, yes, it's a zombie thematically, but when you gear it all up like that, it doesn't have to be a zombie, right? You know, like it could just be somebody in a hazmat thing or a miner's outfit or something, depending on how you want to display it and add it to your collection, right? Like this could be something made by an independent company, like the Monster Force figures that are coming out there are the BBTS exclusive, right? This looks like something that could fit into that, right? So to me, I was actually a bit surprised that this is included in GI Joe Classified. But hey, if it looks cool and it sells, they got something else to spin off their canon into, right?
Yeah,
maybe they wanted to.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like so I was trying to look up any information that I could find on a mole rat, and I came across like the animal mole rats, but I think also a lot of like YouTubers were like, I think they were also baffled about like where this figure came from, and there's really not a lot of info on it. So I think you're right. It's a brand new character, and kind of they're introducing into the line.
Absolutely.
And thanks, Red Foreman.
Let's just listen. Red Foreman super chat here for $2 super chat. Thank you, Red. Again, you're being incredibly generous today. Had to super chat once Ken showed up at Dark Energon. and Red sent another super chat following that one, so we might as well let's read that too. $5 super chat. Gosh, Red, you are on fire tonight. Thank you so much. And he says, mole rats with Dark Energon poisoning. Chuckle has a transformed Soundwave, the crossover O-ring stuff. Interesting things are a brewing. Wow. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So Michael, because he has that alternate head on him, but he still has that rebreather and like kind of the brains sticking out the back. Are you still getting this figure?
I'm gonna get this one because it's not a ninja, and you know I can if I can cover most of his face, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
he's gonna haunt me in my dreams though.
I know, right? I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one, and because we're getting deeper in the line, and there's so many figures out now, and space is becoming a premium, I'm starting to be a little bit more picky about the ones I order. And this one might creep me out a little bit, so I don't know if I may or may not get it. I'm glad he has an alternate head, which is great. Yeah. And Allison Troy says, thank you again for the $2 super chat, Allison. You are so sweet. Zombies, does this mean the line is dead? Allison, you're back up. And that's all my fault for the guru comment.
Yeah, let's consult the guru on this one.
That is so awesome.
I'm choking now. Oh, that was a good one, Allison.
So let's take a look at this one with its packaging. And here we'll have some more images, but you can see all of that energon crystal things coming out of its zombie head. And again, using the actual figure. But let's dive into these images because this is creepy for me. Yeah. I'm not a zombie fan like at all. So even if I had that head in my extra parts, I'd probably like get rid of it because it would creep me out just like rolling around in the bin. What do you guys think?
Doesn't feel
Michael,
like
you go
GI Joe
first.
anymore.
Or Ken, yeah, you
Anyway.
go first.
Oh, no,
Ken, go ahead.
all I
Go
had
ahead.
to do was it doesn't feel like GI Joe anymore. That's all I'm thinking.
Totally.
But it's not
Jay,
that
what do you think?
it's cool.
Oh.
So.
You know what? I like it, and I like it because yes, it's not GI Joe, but I mean, like, sorry, it's not GI Joe centric, but it just allows for a different, expansive, type of story, and we need that, right? If you're going to have a line to continue, you have to start building in new worlds, and I really do hope that they follow this up with some sort of canon. You know what I mean? Like actual books on it, or comic books, or even this photography is technically canon, right, to a certain degree. So I really am looking forward to what they're trying to do here. And you never know, this actually might be a movie tie-in which we don't even know about yet, because no spoilers, but there was a huge hint on the last Transformers movie.
Yep.
Something could be coming. So yeah, it's interesting. I did actually sort of really quickly. There have been mole vehicles that have been included in the line, and I actually threw one in the share here. Toy Source.
Oh, fantastic! Let's go
Michael,
ahead and
want to take a quick
go
look
for it. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I don't know if it's on. Yeah, there it is.
There we
go.
Yeah.
This is the mole pod, and this one was included with who was it again? It says it right at the bottom. With the Terra Vipers.
Yep.
So it and if you look at the Terra Viper, now this was the movie, right? This was the spin-off line for the movie type of thing, right? But I mean, if you look at the Terra Viper himself, if you want to just zoom in there really quick, it's actually a oh, sorry, I'm controlling.
I don't have control over it.
I'm controlling
Sorry,
it. Wait a second. Yeah, he's actually got a rebreather, right? I mean, they're incorporating a whole bunch of different things from the history of GI Joe, and I think that's a really good thing. So this, you never know, we might actually see, and this vehicle is really nice and small. We might actually see a vehicle attached to these characters, and I think that would be really exciting as well. So just some more food for thought, to go along with this. So lots of fun.
Michael, do you have some additional thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean that would be exciting, and I think there's also a leak list floating around us getting 3 additional vehicles added to the line. So maybe you're on point with that, Jay. And just it's probably it's a nice small form factor vehicle that wouldn't be a lot of room to take up on the shelf, which is nice. Not like the Dragonfly.
And if you look at the mole rats themselves, they are a digging type of character. They actually have a drill attachment, right? So they're definitely looking for that dark energon, right? If we're and we might as well dive into that a little bit. So for those of you who don't know, dark energon is something that was created for it was Transformers animated. Ken, where was the first appearance of dark energon?
I for some reason thought it was in the IDW comics, but I could be wrong.
Maybe.
But either way,
in animated though, I believe it was a feature. Like there was definitely something attached to that. But people who were commenting on my stream, they were saying that dark energon infects Transformers and turns them into zombies. So it's just too much of a coincidence now that it's doing the exact same thing with human beings, right? So obviously, dark energon is something, and it looks too much like dark energon, right? And I think that's really a big thing that we have to acknowledge here. And this really ties in well with how they're planning for their next phase of the GI Joe and possibly the Transformers rollout. So I think we can see some much bigger and better things going into the future. And you know what? In terms of like strategy, this is great. If they start incorporating vehicles into GI Joe which transform, even if they're not full-on Transformers, I think that would be crazy. And of course, brings shades of Mask for all you Mask fans.
Oh yes,
so
I love that.
Lots of possibilities.
And they got to be small scale for classified, smaller vehicles, right?
But that's what I'm waiting for is a 6-inch Mac tracker. I know it'd be hard to do a Thunderhawk, but wouldn't you just want tracker with a Spectrum mask? I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming now, but
no, I would love that.
Yeah,
there are some speculations that, and again, okay, so spoiler ahead, because I can't talk about this without at least saying something. So spoiler ahead, if you guys haven't watched the Transformers movie, the main character Noah, there's some rumors and speculations that he might be a Matt Tracker That's actually going to, because he at the end of the movie, again, spoilers ahead. I don't know if any of you guys haven't seen it yet.
I've seen it.
I
Okay.
saw it. Yeah.
Sisters, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh crap!
It's
But
okay.
are you going to see
it? I don't mind being spoiled.
Cover your ears.
Good.
Well, anyway, he's able to make his own Transformer at the end of the movie, right?
Wow.
So, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say too much more about that. But he's able to actually make a Transformers at the end of the movie. So, with that new knowledge and technology that he's able to create, maybe they'll be actually create a mask line of GI Joe. And I think that would be actually ridiculous, right? That they create transforming vehicles with the technology of the Transformers.
That'd be insane.
Absolutely.
That'd be insane.
Absolutely. And so, Jay, we're gonna thank you for giving us these links today. I know that you got this from a fellow fan member on the GI Joe Classified Facebook page. But thank you for sending us these links, and they are available on Mega Jade Retro's video. They're on our website and our video as well. Be sure to bookmark this for when it does come out. Right now they're showing as not in stock, but they'll be part of the Walmart Collector Con that starts on July 18th. So make sure you save these, because then you can get your hands on them, especially the Crimson Alley Viper, because this guy is going to be highly sought after. And before we finish off this topic, I want to say a big hello to the Baroness of Toys. Hello, Baroness. Thanks for joining, one of our crew members, and Clint Jorgensen saying a big hello, another one of our crew members, both big G.I. Joe fans. Thanks for joining the stream. Team, any final thoughts on these classified reveals before we jump into Super 7 stuff?
Shooter's the only one I actually really care about. I'm not sure why. Maybe because she's a deep cut that can be tied back, and I like that stuff. Just like I like Kamakura, just like I like Glenda, and all the other characters from other lines. It's why I like from He-Man. It's why I like Wundar and Hero, and I just like these that harken back to an earlier time in the toy timeline. That's all. So for me, I'm in on Shooter, but that's it. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited about all these releases. As Michael said earlier, you don't need them. Like they're you can pass them on if you really don't care for them all. But I like this Alley Viper. I was not the biggest fan of the first. I thought he was ridiculous. Okay, but I got him anyway just because I got all these freaking numbers I have to collect. But honestly, this is what freaking they got me. As soon as they numbered these things, they got me.
Are you one of those completists, Jay, that needs all the? That's why you're talking about the numbered boxes, right?
I'm not really.
Oh, the Dragonfly.
But I just
exactly
on the Dragonfly. You line them up in a row and you start counting. It's like my ADHD starts kicking, or whatever the heck it is. I don't know what it is exactly. But my neuroticism just kicks in. Like, why am I missing 33? What the hell? Right? So that's how they get you. That's how they get you, right? But these guys are way better colored. They look so much better, and I like the idea that their biohazard pacification. The world building that they have here is something that I'm really getting into. I'm getting excited for this. Really.
Yeah, it is awesome. Michael, final thoughts on these classified leaks before we jump into Super 7?
Yeah, I think I'm all in on these three. Definitely getting them. I'm not army building anymore, so it's hard just because army building in a 6-inch scale is hard on the wallet and on the shelf. Yeah. But I'm really digging these, and I think just kind of going off of what Ken said, this is the point of these exclusives. They're not going to cater to everyone. And they're just going to be for the folks who want them. And I'm sure that they're going to make a heck of a lot less of them in production just because of that.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to flip the screen. Go ahead and finish.
I hope they make more.
Michael,
I hope there is a lot for everybody. I think the Crimson Alley Vipers are going to be the first ones to go, as always. Army building. Army building, and you know what? The GI Joe team is recognizing that army building is a big thing. Good for them. You can make money. You know what I mean? Make some money. Get these packs out. Get the multi packs out. Right? I think that they're doing the right thing on this level. Could they afford to drop it a couple bucks? I hope so. You know what I mean? But that's not going to happen. I mean, the current climate right now, gas prices, everything like that. So You know,
yeah, I do think it's weird though when they put these army builders on Hasbro. There's always a limit of 1 or 2. So it's like, what's the point of the army building when you can only get 1 or 2 of them? But hopefully they don't have a limit when it's on Walmart. I don't think they would.
Now, here's the thing though. I think this is a timed exclusive. I don't know if anybody agrees with me on that, because it's happened before where like Walmart has it for a year and then all of a sudden it starts showing up at like fan channels later. So my fingers are crossed that these guys are going to hit the regular channels eventually. You know, because again, it's one of these things where Walmart, even though they have great distribution, they're not the best at regional distribution. A lot of times they just leave a whole bunch of people hanging. So I hope that online orders will open up eventually as well. So, you know, fingers crossed.
Awesome. Well, let's dive into, we're going to change gears now on the Super7 news that came out. Super7 dropped a bomb on us today of all sorts of awesome GI Joe Comic-Con exclusives, and the first one that they revealed was the Red Knock Baroness and Red Jackal Destro. Now, I'm going to let Michael jump in on this first because you covered this for us. What do you think about these awesome exclusives?
I love it. They are redecos and repaints of some of the previous figures that we're just kind of getting them in hand right now, like the Baroness, and I forget when Destro is coming. I might be in the same wave, but this is exactly what these exclusives are for. It's paying homage to some of the Fun School releases, some of the Euro releases of these figures, and I love the fact that they're doing this. And I don't know if this is just like if the Crimson Baroness, if you will, the Red Knock version is like a opening salvo to, you know, Hasbro's Crimson line that they're going with. But I love this.
That's awesome. Jay, Ken, your thoughts before we dive into each figure?
Ooh. International, right? So they're leaning into Fun School India / Russia, and they're leaning into the old Palatoy Action Force days. So they had the tooling, they had the molds, you know, they had to reuse them. A lot of hardcore fans especially will like the Red Jackal, just because of what he is and where he ties back to. So yeah. So, Jay?
I think that Red Baroness anything is going to sell. I think that they know what they're doing here. Basically, you know what? This also, you know, has shades of the Crimson Trio. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many different connotations here, which really do lead to some really great, again, world building. I'll admit, I think I'm with Ken. I don't really know where these characters come from. I mean, obviously Ken knows more of the history than I do, but they look great. They look really awesome. And Michael's right. These are really clever reuses and repaints on these characters, right? So definitely looking forward to these guys. Not sure if I'll go in on them. I might go in on the Baroness Ultimates, but yeah, I think we're definitely. You know what? They need to be together, right? So we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
If you so I included the vintage figures in the article, and so the Red Knock version of Baroness, it pays homage to the exclusive figure that was released in India by the Fun School company, and then Red Jackal also pays homage to the vintage figure that was exclusively available in the UK and Europe around '84 by the Palatoy company. So Ken, you nailed that one.
Yeah, and we'll take a look at those in just a second. And absolutely, and of course,
surprised if Ken didn't figure that one.
I know, right? And the Baroness Toys wants a Baroness in every color, which is awesome. I think, you know, the Baroness in red glasses, like that gets you right there because she just looks so cool in these red shades. Like I love her. I love the tinted glasses, and the red just looks awesome. Ken, what do you think about her?
Well, I mean, the only thing I know is that Fun School did Russia and India, and I believe this one was only in India, but I might be wrong.
You're right.
I mean, it was called Red. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Michael. I didn't get a chance to fact check this one, so I'm kind of going off of what I looked up 5 years ago. But yeah, Red Knock, obviously, like, I'm not sure because like Fun School is one of those, like, either the characters are really cheap or they're super expensive, right? Like some Fun School sealed on card you can still find for $30. Some like the Super Cop that I found was a lot more than that at Joe Fest. And there's the Superman homage one that's expensive as well. There's the funky color tripwire one that's expensive. I don't know whether Redknock falls in the pricier ones. I believe she does. Just like the Lady J in the in the yellow there, the canary version of her. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Redknock is slightly on the pricier side. So if you want to get her in some incarnation, regardless of scale, you can get her. But at the end of the day, I was kind of hoping that Classified would do these, so I wouldn't have to start another scale. And I haven't broken the bank yet on Super 7 stuff.
Oh, right.
Just because with Super 7, I see how slowly they've been releasing, and maybe it's just their factory, maybe it's just the way they're set up, but I like Super 7 as a finite line. Thundercats, there's a start and an end. Ninja Turtles, same thing. With GI Joe, I hesitated because you can't get that whole ensemble cast if you're only getting waves very sporadically. You know what I mean? And that's not a knock on Super 7. That's just how we've accepted that they do business for these other lines. Even when they picked up the Motu license, they were getting the Classics line after Mattel had already released a bunch of stuff in that scale, and they started doing stuff in the Filmation, so you could still limit it. With GI Joe, there's just such a large ensemble cast, and now they're doing deep cuts on an ensemble cast without doing a lot of the mainline characters yet, just because they have the tooling. I don't know how to feel about it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think they're eventually coming. I mean, like as it's been like if we look at Chuckles box art is a huge I think it's a confirmation more than anything else. The Crimson Trio is right there on the top of the box. I mean, like a red version of Baroness is coming. It's inevitable now, right? Whether or not she's this one, right, or she's actually from that line. I think we're going to see it. And Man of Action's actually just screaming out there again. He wants the 6-inch Transformer crossover, and we're going to see a lot of Red Jackal, exactly. And again, like Ken was saying, we're going to see some interesting crossovers. Maybe we will see some Action Force figures. I don't know, right? So it's going to be a very interesting time for GI Joe.
Yeah, I'll have more to say on Red Jackal for sure. Let's put it that way.
That's awesome. Michael, what do you think of this Red Baroness?
I really like her. Like I'm all into the GI Joe Super 7 Ultimates line, and so I love that they're doing some of the releases that nobody really knows about. And this is again why they're exclusive, because they're probably going to make a limited run. It might be like the comic bat that they released last year. Wasn't for everybody, but I dig all these variants. And when I was collecting hardcore in the 3 3/4 inch line, I bought a ton of these international variants because I just thought they were cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she looks fantastic. I love these like shiny red boots. But these variants are a lot of fun, especially because they are Comic-Con exclusive, so they'll feel a little bit more special in your collection, knowing that they were a limited run, a little bit harder to get, and a deep cut that wouldn't normally come out in the line. So I think that makes it that much more special. Let's take a look at Red Jackal Destro. And Destro was both Baroness and Destro are part of Wave 2 of the Ultimates line. They're both out. They're in collectors' hands now. Michael and I don't think we've received them yet. I think mine are in the mail. So it makes sense that they did do repaints. So Michael, why don't you start out and tell us what you think of Red Jackal Destro?
Yeah, I mean he's a minor repaint, from the one that we're already getting. And I forget who mentioned this in the chat, but they asked if his collar was flocked, but I don't think it is. That's kind of funny. But
save that for the Pimp Daddy Destro.
I know, right? This totally sets up Pimp Daddy Destro.
Oh my god, totally.
It does. He looks awesome.
Yeah.
Totally love it. I'm super excited for I haven't even received my Wave 2 Destro figure. I think he's finally on his way. It finally shipped yesterday after quite a long wait.
What's funny about these figures is that like the first time that people got a Super 7 Ultimates GI Joe figure was last year at last Comic-Con with the comic bat. with that blue bat, and it's kind of similar to what they're doing right now. It's like Baroness and Destro are in transit, but people might be seeing these versions of the Baroness and Destro for the first time at Comic-Con.
Absolutely. I know a lot of collectors still haven't gotten them, and Giraffe like totally cracks me up. Just take the t-shirt off, Destro. Let's see that chest hair flow. It's gonna be kind of like you know, hairy chested shipwreck here. You know,
that's awesome.
That is too funny. But in this case, it's nice because he's wearing, I guess, a red tight shirt with the little skull and crossbones on it, which looks really, really cool. I like that design. Ken, what do you think of this design and this deep cut character?
Love it, and it's a deep cut for us over here. But I mean, from 82 to 84 in the UK, if you ask people there, Action Force was their GI Joe, right? People who grew up there are going to be more familiar with Red Jackal than they are with Destro. The whole Red Shadows faction, a lot of people will find just cooler than Cobra overall. I mean, you can see Skeletron, the company, has built their whole company, and I met one of the owners, Mark, and Corey Cantalupe from Hasbro currently works there now. They're building their whole company around the Red Shadows, right? They've got the Robo Skull coming and everything. So when, you know, when people kind of like, even like, okay, first off, people in the UK probably will prioritize Action Force, especially this Action Force the first couple of years first. But people who are in the States and in Canada here, when they're kind of done, and I'm using air quotes here, or need a break from collecting the mainline GI Joe, the first place they often go is the UK Action Force, and in particular those first few years when they had completely a unique story, completely unique, and weren't just GI Joe characters imported over there. So this is going to be popular among people who just are who just like GI Joe, because you know, they've got Scarlet. Somebody in the chat said they can make her into Quarrel. You know, in the classified line, I'd love to see Gung Ho turn into Gaucho or Stalker into Jammer, because that all falls into those first 3 years of Action Force. I would buy this for sure if it was a classified figure, because I'd love to get that Palatoy Red Shadows in the classified range. As a Super 7 figure, if I saw it and walked by, I'd have to like see it in hand before I made the decision. So that's how I feel. But you know, this was also a driver back in the day, right? I forget the name of the Red Hiss. Someone can say it in the chat, but the Red Hiss tank from Action Force was the one that Red Jackal piloted, right? So yeah, cool. There's
it was called the Hyena tank.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
There we go. He drove that. Yes.
Yeah. And then this is the original Action Force figure here, the vintage version of it. And there you can see the skull and crossbones on his red chest. And it's funny because you can still see the outline of his little necklace medallion hanging there, but it's painted over.
This is the last Red Shadows figure I need in my personal collection to be done. My Red Shadows,
wow.
Like the figures. This I don't have all the vehicles.
eBay auction. Might be still available.
and let me guess, they probably want 200 US on it, don't they?
You're right, my friend. It's about 240 by it now.
God damn! I should have jumped on them. They were $90 a few years ago.
We need
if you go into our article on this, you get the eBay link, by the way.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there really wants them, jump on it.
Yeah.
Because it's in our article. Just click on it.
I love that they're doing this, because this scratches my itch for getting these international variants, but not paying, you know, the $240 for them. I'm happy to get some other version of them, but I think that fills it for me. So like, what's exciting for me is that they're doing all these variants, plus, you know, if you're looking at the classified series, like the Tiger Force variants and also the Python Patrol variants, and they can, like, Action Force made some of those variants too as well. So like with Tiger Force Tunnel Rat and stuff like that. So I'm good.
Yes,
with
later on they did that. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jay, what do you think of this this Destro? Are you all in on him? Do you like him?
I'm not 100%. Like both of these characters are deep cut, you know, to a certain point. I would, and of course, there's not enough time. Are these online exclusives, or are they only available at the con? I think they're online as well, right? Like,
so they're gonna be available at the con to start with, and then I'm assuming, just like last year, all of their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives were available on Super 7. And then after that, I'm sure they'll be all over the place on all the fan channels and Amazon. As time wore on, they were more readily available, and I think they made plenty of them. So,
yeah,
I don't think it'll be too hard to get.
Yeah, they have a minimum quantity order that they always do. So I'm pretty sure Big Bad Toy Store will have a few of them and such. So I can wait.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, because as with both of you, once you get, and like Ken said, once you get them in hand, all of a sudden the whole thing changed. Because like when I saw Duke for the first time, my mind blew me away.
Yeah,
I was like, holy crap, this thing's actually pretty awesome. Right. And
It
I was
is.
worried. I was worried to the nth degree because I was like, you just don't know with Super 7 faces. Right. So Lady J is going to be the big breaker for me. If she looks half as good as the renders, it's over. I'm basically all in. And that sucks because I don't want to be on another line. It really, because, I'm a Sunbow guy. I love the Sunbow cartoons from back in the day. And these aesthetics, they just, they're just too good.
I got all of these,
So
the
good.
reaction figures they're all sitting right next to me here. But I love the Sunbow aesthetic as well. I know with Flint and Lady J, they were produced at a different factory, and the sheen or the paint on their face was missed, even though it was on the Paint Master, and they were shipped out that way. So I don't know if they're going to look exactly like the renders did. They may look slightly off, but I think they still do look good. And that's not going to be the case with the rest of the waves. I know that Brian Flynn did confirm that, because that was something that there was a lot of chatter about, the missing painted faces on both Lady J and Flynn. But they are still very cool figures. I'm very excited for them. Mine are both on the way. And I'm all in on these GI Joe Ultimates. I'm super excited. I've got a couple of them back here on my window ledge, and I'm just waiting for the rest of them to come in the mail.
They do look nice, at least. So,
yeah. And that wasn't the only thing that Super 7 dropped today. We had a couple more other really cool exclusive sets with some GI Joe reaction figures, some awesome homage box set, and this incredible snake armor robot figure as well. So we're going to dive into these other SDCC exclusives from Super 7, starting out with, I know the one that Michael is super excited for because he was over the moon when this one was announced today, the snake armor Cobra Trooper with this awesome Cobra Trooper inside here, and the snake that is armor that is an homage to the 1983 Wave 2 snake armor packaged armor vehicle set. Michael, you start out with your thoughts first on this one.
I was floored when I saw this, because like the snake armor was one of like the few toys that I can recall that I had so much fun with. And just as a kid, you build your own worlds and battles in your head, and you play them out in your room or your family room. And so the snake armor has a special place in my heart. And I'm usually not into these types of things, but I need to get this. Like, this is calling me.
So this is the original 1982 version, and it did come both in white, and it was re-released again in 1984 as part of Wave 4 in a blue color. And that's what it looked like as the actual figure. But Michael, I mean, look at the colors on that, all of the detail in the interior of it. And it's hard to tell. I think this is just a sculpted figure in here. It doesn't look like it's articulated at all, but it's still cool. You're still all in, right?
Oh, I totally am. And like with removable panels and things like that, like there's so many options for you to display this thing. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I think you're right. It's like a non-articulated figure, and I think they just chopped him off at the waist, because I don't know if he has legs that are going down inside those other legs, but I think we have to see more pictures, and I'm sure that those will come.
Is this reaction or is this
So it says it's an 11-inch figure.
That's what I was gonna say.
So I think
it's
a larger,
larger
size,
oversized collection, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
It's an oversized
kind of
one.
like the.
It looks
the
like this is the other version. All my blue ones are up on the shelf, but it's just like a reaction Cobra Trooper, but enlarged.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, at 11 inches, he would actually be pretty good for the like if you don't take off the shell, he can actually be pretty formidable for the ultimates at 11 inches.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, damn it. How much is this thing? God damn it.
That's a good question. Do we have a retail price on that one yet, Michael?
I don't think
I don't
so.
know if they've given us a price.
Yeah, I couldn't find one, but it doesn't mean that one doesn't exist. But yeah, I like the way that you were where you're going with this, Jay, because I think the problem for me with the vintage version is like the snake armor is it's so tiny. And so I want a bigger scale for the snake armor, because if you actually imagine putting this on or getting into this in real life, it's like, what is it, in like an exosuit? It's going to be a lot bigger and a lot more formidable in real life. So I think this would scale nicely with the 7-inch line, even though it's 11 inches.
Yeah, because the thing, you're going to be on stilts. You know what I mean? It's huge. So even if you don't take off the shell, you could pretend that, and you know what? He probably is scaled to. Just thinking about it right now, like as soon as I heard 11 inches, I'm like, get out of town.
Yeah, I didn't realize it when we were first covering this, and I had to go back and reread, because I know they had all of those other, they had like a large scale bat, and they did, several other large scale figures like that were like this, that had the removable panels on it. So it totally makes sense to continue that line. But that is really cool. I wish that the arms were at least articulated, so at least you can like pull them out of the snake armor when it's open, because that would have been really cool for them to move up and down. But I don't know that they are, because there's no cuts there.
No, yeah, it looks like a fully sculpted figure.
Yeah, it does. And these are not like the Motu Origins figures where you can pull them apart at the waist and change them out. So yeah, I think you just get what you get with this one, and I'm fine with it. Like I don't know if I'll display him like that. I think I might just put the whole snake armor on and display it that way.
I love the packaging of it. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to take this out of the box. Like, it just looks so rad. Like, I love it's so retro, so 1980s GI Joe, and the colors pop incredibly well. Ken, what do you think about this?
Okay, so a couple things, right? I mean, they could repaint it into a Red Shadows escape armor later on, so they could use that tooling and maybe put the maybe they got to change the head of the trooper inside to make it the proper Red Shadows trooper. The other thing is, Michael touched on something about it being larger than the others. What if Classified never makes one, and people buy this to scale with their Classifieds instead? That could be another angle to go about this, right? I mean, they're different anyway, right? Like, you wouldn't know it's not a Classified figure. Especially if it's really 11 inches tall, right? They're calling it reactions. That's why I was a bit surprised at the price. I'm like, is that a typo? Is that a typo somewhere? Right? And if it is that scale, I'd want that trooper removable. I'm sorry, but I feel like
agree with you on that. Yeah.
Right? Now, would that raise the price even more than it already is? I don't know.
Well,
right?
it looks like Turtle Dave had pre-ordered it from BBTS a little while back for $125. It says that the link has since been taken down, and it could be that it was listed on there, because I know BBTS and Entertainment Earth quite a lot get Super7 listings that have no photograph on them, and you'll just get like a written description. And I might have come across something like that a while back and just didn't realize what it was. But $125 for this without a removable figure or any articulation, it is a little high, but it is a Comic-Con exclusive. What do you guys all think about the price? If that's the price.
I wouldn't go for it. I would just ask my buddy 3D print me a snake armor. If that's the case, right? So,
you know what? I that probably is just a placeholder, because it's not like, okay. This very much reminds me of something that Super7 does for their Sophobi lines. You know what I mean? Where they're more like homages. Is there any articulation on this guy? Like, I guess the arms and the legs move. I'm hoping, right? Because if there's no movement on this, then I have to be out, because he's got to do something.
Yeah, it looks like the arms will probably just move up and down. Not the figure inside, but the snake armor arms are articulated. But I don't know if the feet are, or the legs.
Yeah.
So if you take a look at, and I was just Googling this, maybe one of you guys can do it on another screen, but I googled the Super 7 oversized bat, and I can do that in just a sec. That one was $85. It's similar. So
yeah, but see, at 85, I'm okay, right? Because the Ultimates figures are 55 anyway, right? So this being a convention exclusive, 85 to me is like that's convention tax, right? So I'm actually okay with that. But if you're talking 150,
ignore this because this has just happened to be an eBay auction. But the list price was $85. So that item is extremely similar to this. It's in their Super Cyborg line, right? Similar type thing. And this was only $85, and it does have articulated arms in it and a head. I don't know if the legs probably, I don't know if they're movable or not. It's hard to tell. But the arms and head do move, and it's just got that chest plate that comes out. They've done this with multiple different figures. And, at $85, it's much more doable.
Well,
$125, not sure.
I found it on BBTS for $74.99. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
so
can
then we
still
were
buy
all,
it on Super 7 site too.
Yeah.
So it's even cheaper.
Yeah. So I guess we'll put a pin on that and see how much he comes out to be. But that thing looks really cool.
I think at 75, I'm definitely interested. At $75.
Yeah.
Even at 85, I think I'm okay to try. Maybe press my luck. At 150, forget it. I just can't. I just can't. There's not enough there for me to do.
Dave, yes, please send it to my Instagram and I'll display it on the screen. It's at the Toy Sorceress Instagram. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. But this thing is super cool. I think it was an awesome, choice for an homage to a vintage figure. Or, it's funny because this is listed. I don't even know what to call it because it's an armor set, but it's listed under their vehicles or whatever. It's not a vehicle, obviously, so it's hard to categorize the armor. But it was an awesome accessory piece for the GI Joe line. So it's incredible that they did that. And I could see this thing coming out next year or another year, in the blue version with maybe a different Cobra Trooper on the inside or somebody else sitting in there.
If the price is right. Yes.
If the price is right. So would you be, I know you were excited, Michael. Are you still all in if this is 125? Are you getting bummed out?
I don't know, because I think the Cobra bat you can still buy on Super 7 and BBTS. So I'm like, maybe I'll wait for it to go on sale or on clearance if it's 125, because that's pushing it a little bit. Just with
I was gonna say
all the hurting that our wallets are taking with the GI Joe classified series, and also if you're all in with Super 7, this is gonna be a rough year.
Yeah, it's an expensive month,
and that's just for one franchise too. So what if you're a Marvel Legends collector? What if you're a Star Wars collector? Oh my God!
Wait. Yeah,
we haven't even seen the Motu exclusives yet. If there's something that's going to drop, it'll drop soon.
I'm so scared.
Well, we need something to talk about tomorrow. I mean,
I know, right?
It's going to be like another reunion.
We'll just come on every day for July and talk about this stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Donut Daddy says that his Super 7 Cyborg, Megatron, and Prime are 5 POA. This one doesn't have. This one obviously is not going to have a head articulation, but
yeah, I know. I mean, you can see actually. So maybe the compromise was that it is a 5 POA because you've got the arms are articulated on the actual snake armor. There are articulation points there, and it looks like down here there's probably another couple articulation points as well. So maybe that's why they consider this part of the interior sculpt of the robot, if you want to call it that. Right.
He's a wax dummy.
Cool.
He's a wax dummy.
It's like a half Cobra Trooper. Yeah. He looks like he's kind of like sliced in there.
He's not only that, I'm pretty sure he's molded into that back. He's not coming out.
No.
You can't remove him. You can't remove him. He's got this look on his face. And this is really cool. He's got a little display screen right here in front of him. This thing's rad. I hope it's cheaper. If not, we'll wait for the price to drop.
I want to see what's on the inside of the shell. That's one thing they never really show. And it's supposed to be a surprise, right? But on the inside of the shell, I would like to see what's inside there.
I want to see what else is down here. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's
That's
the
awesome.
what are they called? The cross. Basically, it's one of those cross section type of robots, and that's always so cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. That is awesome.
poor
And
Cobra Trooper.
not only go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
I was gonna say poor Cobra Trooper got cut off at the junk. So poor guy.
Yeah, he did. Ouch.
He's dedicated to the cause.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's the
sacrificial lamb.
He is the man. They're being
all right. Well, any more thoughts on this before we move on to the other Super 7 drops?
Not really.
Okay. Great. So the next thing that they dropped was similar to last year's Pyramid of Darkness Snake League set. Is this new city? What do they call it again? I'm so
City
sorry.
of the Dead.
City of the Dead. I knew that. Super 7 ReAction set. The box slipcover is gorgeous. It's this Asian temple with these two statues on the outside of it, and this incredible, wood-looking door with a cobra symbol on it. And you can see here, the other temple backdrop, which is awesome looking. And when you slip that cover off, there are these clay statues and some skeleton warriors, which is part of the Pyramid of Darkness episode 3. That is what this comes from. Super, super deep cut from Super 7. What do you guys think?
Well, first off, I just want to acknowledge there's a lot of hilarious comments in the chat saying, "Ken, you're stuck at a red light, you're stuck at a drive-through," and all that. I can't actually reply because from my phone it tells me to log in.
Good.
And ordinarily I would have my Chromebook or my laptop here that I could at least type on another screen. So if I'm not laughing at some of the at some of the comments, because I can't reply right now. But you people are awesome.
That is
as for what we think of this, you have to rewatch Pyramid of Darkness again to be like, oh yeah, I remember these. Like, it doesn't come to mind immediately if you haven't seen it in a little while. So it's all right. It's the type of thing that you would expect in a convention exclusive type of set. It's more like when they do something like Mindbender or Chuckles, where you're like, ooh, if I'm not going to Comic-Con, I hope I can get a QR code to order it online, right? Like, you're not, if you miss it, well, it was a deep cut anyway, and it was an exclusive anyway, and maybe you'll get like an economical retail version later. When you miss more of a mainline character, that's when you're more like, ah, damn, I wish that wasn't an exclusive, right? So that's all I really. But when I saw this, that was the first thing that popped in my head. It's all right for an exclusive.
Can you zoom in, Toy Socialist? Like, I think this is like the first time I'm seeing these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. These. Go ahead, Jay.
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna plus in a comment. The Baroness of Toy says, "Dang, I know she has a thing for Ming soldiers. So does she really need this?" And yeah, these look like your typical like Ming soldiers, which are really cool. Statue set that is very popular within Asian culture, and they are actually two different sculpts of clay soldiers here. That you can see, because this has some kind of skirting, and this has armor on it, and then you've got these two skeleton warriors. But go ahead, Jay. I want to hear your thoughts.
What really kills me about these, and honestly, I have to give it to Super 7. These are brand new sculpts from the ground up. They're not based on anything. So you know what? For a convention exclusive, they're going all in on these things, because like you have to make a minimum run of these things. The box art alone. You got to design that box, like again, just being from the printing background, like that's not cheap. There's a lot of things going on here. Somebody had to draw all of those illustrations, right? Yeah, there's a lot going on here, and even the previous pack, right? That was the same thing. Like those were all brand new characters, and these aren't like the terracotta warriors there, right? They're taller than most ReAction figures. They're huge, right? Whereas the two Chinese ghost warriors, right? They're about the same size as most GI Joes. But yeah, this is a pretty deep cut. It really is. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people just aren't going to know what these are. Off the top of my head, I remember, the Pyramid of Darkness, and I remember this particular episode where they all started coming to life and attacking the Joes. Like, it's a really, really deep cut. And if you are a Sunbow animation fan, you're going to know exactly what this is. But if you're not, if you're just a a collector of the toys, you have no idea what this is and where it comes from. So yeah, I mean, like, wow, just wow. Like, if I was in on ReAction, I'd be all over this. The problem is I'm not, right? I'm
same here. Like, I can appreciate that they're building these sets, and I like kudos to Super7 and Brian Flynn for even bringing these back to life, or just introducing these sculpts and these characters to the line. So I love that they're doing this, and if I was into ReAction, I would totally be buying these.
Yeah, they are really cool. Even just to keep carded like this on this display, because you could imagine these terracotta soldiers and even the skeleton warriors lined up in this really cool temple to have it as an awesome display piece. So I think that is incredible. And I'm just gonna share a oh, I guess I didn't get it. Sorry, Turtle Dave. I think he sent a screenshot, but I don't see it here unless I need to refresh my screen real quick. Give me 1 second, guys.
If you're on your computer, it won't show up. If you're on your computer, it won't show up on Instagram. You have to
Got
take it from
you. Okay. Maybe I can pull it up in a second. But yeah, I mean, this is a really cool set. It's a very deep cut, and something that Super7 is well known for on their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I did get last year's Snakeling Pyramid of Darkness set because it had that cool robot, and you finally got Timber in there, and of course all the Snakelings with, or you got Shipwreck and Snake Eyes in their Snakeling outfit, and those really, really cool Cobra Troopers with the backpacks on them. So I really loved that set. This one's really cool. Now that I'm zooming in on it, because honestly, we were trying to get these articles out so fast today, I didn't have time to look at them. There's a lot of detail on these terracotta soldiers. They are pretty cool. You know what? Maybe I might have to split a pack with the Baroness because there's kind of 2 of each.
That would work.
And let's go ahead, and thanks for plussing in Charlie Weaver's comment. Go ahead, Michael.
Oh yeah, just thank you so much, Charlie Weaver, for the super chat, my friend. Wonderful crew member. Hi, I'm late. Do you think the classified Night Force narrative is that they're a zombie hunter task force? Sorry, no worries. Yeah, I think we covered that, but yeah, I think Jay was at least saying that it could be part of the lore that they're trying to build in here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is typical Super7 doing awesome, unexpected things. But they are so much fun. And the next ReAction release we got was one of the figures that was not released as the rest of the mainline release of GI Joe ReAction, Python Patrol, and Tiger Force figures that just came out. The Python Trooper was pictured on the back of the package along with Tiger Force Shipwreck, which I do have here, which was a Target exclusive and is a very cool figure in case any of you guys are interested. Just like the vintage version of Shipwreck, which is awesome. But this Python Patrol Trooper is very cool, and can I see this being a popular army builder if you are into ReAction figures, because I've got quite a bit of the little troopers laying around. Especially I love the blue camel one, and I am gonna have to get a couple of these Python Patrol versions. What do you guys think of this fun figure?
I haven't gotten on a ReAction yet, so just a blank stare from me on this one.
Yeah, that's fine. Michael J.
I'm more the same. I'm not really correcting ReAction. I just can't. But they do look great. I mean, honestly, they have that. Again, it's what I like. What I really like about their strategy here is it'll still fit in with your regular Joes, your old rings, and your class and your retro style. Mm-hmm. So Brian's doing it right. He knows he's smart about. Was smart about this, and they have a good thing going here. So absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think they're doing it right. I think maybe referencing some of the things that I said earlier about what the Super7 Ultimates, what they're doing there. It's like with introducing Tiger Force Shipwreck, that was also an international figure called Marujo, and so it's like that. Like doing those figures, I think is really neat, and I love the Python Patrol and Tiger Force. So I love that they're doing this.
Yeah.
It's really
I just got the vintage Felino that was released with Marujo and
I had
Arpuro
that.
in the Forca Ferra or Forca Tigra line that was done by Estrella in Brazil there. And it's nice when they do those international Tiger Force stuff. You mentioned some of the UK Tiger Force stuff like Psych Out and a few others. So I like it when they do that because it looks like it could just be Tiger Force Shipwreck. It doesn't have to be Marujo.
Yep.
Right. So,
exactly.
Right.
And
Arpuro
stuff
doesn't
that's
have
never
to
been
be.
done.
Yeah.
Right. You got right here Python Patrol Baroness, which she looks awesome. And all of these figures can just blend right into your display with your O-ring figures because I actually do have a lot of them out there on display. I have some Python Patrol bats that are on display with my O-ring figures back there, and those look really, really cool. So not everybody's into reaction figures, but if you love the Sunbow cartoon, if you like that Kenner 5 POA style of figures, these are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's funny. I want to plus in Lord Hoagie's comment just around the Cobra Escape Pack box set. It was so funny because people thought that was an April Fool's joke.
Oh yeah,
it looks funny. I mean,
it was
you
awesome,
actually saw that early. Remember, Michael?
Yeah. So it's funny. I went to work in San Francisco that day, and whenever I go to work in the office, I'd visit the San Francisco Super7 store, and they were just getting in those box sets, and the guy's like, "Want to see something cool?" And I was like, of course. So he allowed me to take pictures, and he's like, okay, we have a toy show coming up this weekend, and you cannot release these images until that day. And so I was like, totally fine. And so that Saturday came along and went down to the toy show and released that article. And it's so funny because people were like, this is an April Fool's joke. They couldn't possibly do this, but that pack was funny.
They did.
It was. Like I always love when Cobra Commander ends up being a old bag lady. That's just I mean,
no, they didn't. Yes, they did.
So great. Such great stuff.
That was awesome. That was totally awesome. And we got a couple other really cool things that were not figures released today from Super7. And this came out of left field, but wax pack trading cards that look like the old school vintage ones with these incredible, the wax wrappers around them. These are awesome. I'm like just pulling at the nostalgia heartstrings of old school trading cards. I just really got into these. I think they're neat.
They're hitting all the markets. This will actually appeal to a lot of card collectors, like a lot of them. So again, Brian's making some really good moves, and they're cheap. You know what I mean? It doesn't cost anything to print these things, right? Obviously there's some production involved with the wrappers and the box art, but other than that, I mean, this is a great move. I think that I think you're going to hit a lot of different types of collectors, on this level.
Absolutely. I wonder. I doubt that they come with their bubble gum, but the kind that break your teeth.
Oh man, I want stale bubble gum.
Yeah, and Jay, you have a request here. Do your Cobra Commander impression for us. You got to.
You do a Cobra Commander too? Wow.
Well, I mean, like I could. What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Tell us what Cobra Commander would say about this pack of wax pack trading cards.
Oh my gosh! Hold on. Who's
hard on demand? Think about it while I get Ken's reaction.
I'm gonna have to look these up.
Stale bubblegum. I mean, remember opening up those packs of bubblegum when you had sports cards back in the day, and the bubblegum was already like a year or two old,
nice and
crunchy. You'd be like, ooh, yeah, you'd eat it anyway, and it'd be crunchy. So that's what it is. Yeah. So that's what I look at when I see this. So yeah.
They're very cool. Very, very cool. And Jay's still mulling that over, and I think maybe
you know what, I'm putting something together here.
All right.
I remember
I can go back to that once you get ready.
Sure,
Jay, just let us know.
Sure.
And they also did this really cool 1,000-piece puzzle set with this incredible art of Cobra Commander in his regal outfit. And Michael is so funny because he saw the battle armor helmet sitting here for Cobra Commander and thought for sure that was a tease. But Michael, you might not be wrong. This might be a tease of him coming eventually.
Yeah. They might make him for the Super7 Ultimates line, but like this is where my mind goes with like these teases that these companies do. I'm like, all right, are they hinting at something, or is it just a puzzle?
It's so funny because we both looked at it and we're like, it can't possibly be just a puzzle.
Yeah. It's funny.
But it's a really nice looking puzzle. And if you're into puzzles, this one is a lot of fun, and it's got some incredible artwork. You even have the globe here with the cobra that wraps around it, and he's got his little head sticking out right there, which is really awesome. And Jay, are you ready to do your impression?
I'm just actually, believe it or not, I'm actually writing something up. So.
Oh, fantastic! Keep going while we
You're scripting your impression.
Believe it or not, I am.
Yeah. So these were some really fun, reveals today. I was not expecting any of them, but they did an awesome job. Yeah, you can see this snake armor set here, which is a lot of fun. You got the little Cobra Trooper. I really thought when that first got announced that you're going to be able to. I thought it was like ReAction sized, and you were going to be able to put the figure inside it. I didn't realize it was one of those larger scale ones. But it's still,
like jumbo
still
size.
really cool, and there's the blue. But Michael, if the price is right, you're still all in on that, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's sub $100, then I'm totally getting it. If it's plus 100, I think I'll wait for it to go on sale. Unfortunately. Yeah. Totally. But we had some really great, reveals today, leaks. The brand new classified figures that are coming out, and they went in a totally different genre, I guess, if you want to call it that, and like all in on the Night Force theme with zombie Cobra Troopers and all. So I don't know what do you all think in the chat on those new classified releases as Jay is preparing his awesome Cobra Commander impression, and I am going to grab something in the meantime while he's writing that up. But Michael, why don't you plus in a couple comments and let's hear the chat's thoughts on these releases. Oh yeah, just plussing in Allison's comment around we need a power suit Coco. I think like the battle armor version of Cobra Commander is one of my favorite versions that they've made. Just aside from the V1 release, so I'm definitely there.
Oh, the version 387 release.
Yes.
That one. Yeah, that's the one I had as a kid. So yeah. So
yeah,
love
Neil,
that one.
So Neil, like me, was hoping that the Coco puzzle meant we were getting a battle armor Cobra Commander, but my brain goes in all these different directions when I get these teases, and I was like, wait, I think they're hinting at something, and it's a puzzle, and we got to put the pieces together. We're getting a battle armor Cobra Commander. No, not happening. But maybe they'll make one later.
Totally. That is just too cool. And we still have a lot more, reveals to come. We've got all this stuff from Super7. I think we've probably seen all of their Joe releases. We might get some more reveals on the classified end. This was just the stuff for Walmart Collector Con that got leaked. I'm sure there's a lot more things to come from the Hasbro GI Joe team. And can't wait to see what those are. And of course, all of us here on Toy Habits and on the stream, Jay and Ken and everybody out there are all big Motu fans. So I can't wait to see what's going to be revealed for Motu in terms of San Diego Comic-Con.
I hope it's affordable. I really do.
Yeah, this month is crazy though. With all of the news and all the leaks and the rumors and. There's
though, I love it. And you know what, I truly believe, and you know what, it's a smart move. I think that toy companies, especially now in the age of social media, I think that they are relying on toy tubers on social media to really spread the message, and I think it's a really smart move. It doesn't cut into their advertising budget. It's just free advertising, like absolutely 100%.
Totally.
You know what, good move, very good move.
Yeah. They couldn't have dreamed of better publicity than social media and all the free advertising they get, and from all us toy tubers that are drooling over the stuff that they're making and just covering it and giving them all sorts of press, I guess. But if you head over to toyhabits.com, we've got all of the coverage there, everything we talked about, and all of the links to the GI Joe classified figures for Walmart are on there, so be sure to head over to toyhabits.com and bookmark those. And then we've got information on the other releases for Super7 And of course, we're following on the 12 days of fandom that are happening every day between, I think it started on Monday, all the way up to when we get to Comic-Con. So every morning, we'll go ahead and update that and drop in what those releases are. And of course, we got that awesome tease for our Chuckles that is coming. And there was this really neat Dio shot here that Shark on Instagram actually posted yesterday. And I don't know exactly where he got that from because I couldn't source it on Hasbro Pulse's Instagram page. But this is really cool. What do you think about this Chuckles image, guys?
Gets us ready for the release.
Yeah.
You know? Gets us excited at least for the release.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. Look at that. Look at that background.
I know, right? You just want a pina colada and just like sit back and, and enjoy while Chuckles runs by, right?
That's so great.
Michael, are you more excited about Chuckles now?
I was excited about him when he first came out. Like I'm totally displaying him with that black eye. Like there's no doubt about it.
I was the same thing. I love that. I love that beaten up face. He just looks so. he looks like he took one for the team, and just was
Mike Tyson's Punch Out style, like they said, right? So.
Oh, totally.
100%.
He looks like is it Glass Joe? Which one is it with the black eye?
Glass Joe.
Yeah. Glass Joe, especially in between rounds,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, between rounds. Yep.
Wait, that assumes you let Glass Joe get the round two. Look what I just did. I just admitted I didn't beat Glass Joe inside of one round. I mean.
Okay.
Oh my god, that is too funny. That is too funny. All right, well, Jay, are you ready with your?
Yeah. You know what? I think I am. Do you want to share the screen? Do you want to share the screen? That's right.
I am going to stop my share, and we are going to focus in on. Oops, I'm going to let. Yeah. All right. You know what, Michael? Why don't you do it? Because I don't know how to select Mega
I got
J.
it.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. We'll just go.
Oh, you're sharing your screen. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I was going to also. Go ahead.
All right. So give me 1 second. I just gotta bring both of these things into frame. Hold on for a second. All right. So this is only for the Toy Habits crew because they asked so nicely, and of course I love you guys. So this is one-time performance only. You guys get this. All right. Here's the problem. I got to remember how to do this. This is perfect, Destro. But of course, hold on. Actually, wait. Let me try that again.
You got a cameo by Cobra Commander here that I'm holding.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is perfect, Destro. But of course, my dear Cobra Commander, my brilliant plan to entrap the children of the world with this tasteless GI Joe trading cards is in full effect. I still fail to see why we're using GI Joe, Destro. They are terrible, particularly this Duke with his smug-looking face. Fear not, my dear Cobra Commander. All will be revealed soon. Excellent, Destro. Yes! This will be the end of G.I. Joe!
I love it, Jay. Oh my god, everybody, if we could hear everybody applauding out there in the chat, I'm gonna give you a huge round of applause.
I need one hand to hold the phone, so I'm just gonna pat my shoulder.
You are the man.
I'll only do that for Toy Habits. 100%.
Well,
that's okay. On Toy,
I might do it for Toy Kennections if he's nice.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Cobra Commander can be exclusive to Toy Habits. You can do Starscream on Toy Kennections.
Only if you're nice, Ken, because you've been pretty mean lately.
Yeah, I have been actually.
Look at that. The chat is lighting up. Everybody is applauding you, Jay.
I didn't realize that getting Destro in there too. That's awesome. It's 2 for 1.
I just wanted
to we got a twofer.
Are you moonlighting as a Masters of the Mini Comics voice actor there too, Jay?
You know what? Rob and I are good friends, and he's invited me to do a couple of voices too. But it's one of those things. I just like making fun of things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. And Rob's doing his own thing. So if he have me on, of course I'll help him out anytime. It's always a good thing. But I'm not gonna lie, it wrecks your voice.
Oh,
You did an incredible job, and Giraffe is just cracking me up. I'm still getting the gum, even if it's laced with Destro mind control powder.
Consume.
Oh my God,
Just consume, Giraffe.
Yes.
Wow. Well, this was awesome. I don't know if we have anything else to add. That it was an incredible way to round out our stream. Thank you guys so much for being on here. Jay and Ken, everybody knows you, but go ahead and let them know what you're up to on your channel and where they can find you. Ken, you go first.
You can find me literally in my garage right now and connected to my Wi-Fi finally. Look, I got a notification from my cell phone provider saying we're giving you more gigs of data free of charge. So I'm like, let's put it to use. So when Sorceress sent the link, I'm like, perfect timing to put it to use. You can just find me on Toy Kennections. I mean, Toy Sorceress and Mega J have been on twice recently. Michael was on a few months ago, but also provided a voiceover for the Micron video that I did there. And yeah, I'm just working. Actually, this Friday, I'm releasing a history of GI Joe 1983 mini, like 16-minute documentary just on that year. The idea is to get all the years done, and when I eventually get a proper computer that actually works, make a big extended supercut of all of them, and that might be in 20 years time. I don't know, but I'm just saying that's kind of my end goal one day. So yeah, I'll be doing a history of GI Joe 1983 pre-produced video.
Awesome.
And I'll have a live stream, a TKO live stream.
GI Joe. That's my favorite year, so I can't wait to see
Golden Age of GI Joe. Yeah, and I'll be doing a live stream on Sunday talking movie Tough Guys with some of my friends. So yeah, otherwise you can find me on Mega J Retro and first time caller, long time listener of Toy Habit. Let's put it that way today.
That is so cool. And Jay, we all know you. We love you. We know where to find you, but please tell us what you're up to, where everybody can find you if they've been living under a rock. And because if you don't know Mega J, I don't know where you've been. But Jay, let us know. Where can they find you and what are you up to?
Well, thanks, guys. First of all, it's always a pleasure being here with Toy Habits. It's an absolute pleasure and honor whenever I get to be here, sharing some time with Michael, Toy Sorceress, and of course Ken from Toy Kennections. Guys, first of all, this community is amazing. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. And I want to put it out there as well that contrary to popular belief, no matter how much everyone believes that we are shills for the companies, we are not. We do this because we love doing this. We do this because you guys are important to us. And of course, we want to share the knowledge that we have, because if we didn't share, nobody would know it. And of course, I want to give a huge shout out to the community for sharing with us, because if it wasn't for you guys giving us the information, we couldn't get it out there to anybody else who needs the help. Because one thing I did want to remind everybody, July 14th, I think it's the 14th, the Batmobile will be going back on sale. Toy Sorceress, help me out here. Was it the 14th or the 17th? I'm pretty sure it was the 14th. But
the 17th,
anyway,
the 17th,
I think it was the 17th.
9 a.m. 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, so that is the gold label 2-pack for the Batmobile and the 89 Batman. Do not forget that. And Toy Sorceress is going to be there trying to get her. And a whole bunch of us are going to try and get them again. So, guys,
I hope they fix their glitches this time around.
I hope they're ready. But at least they gave us a time and a date this time. At least a week's head start. So, guys, be there. And of course, that's the exact same stupid day that all these GI Joes drop. So, for crying out loud, what the heck is wrong? Somebody's got to get all these toy companies into the same room and start scheduling properly. You're killing us, guys. You're killing all of us. Our wallets just can't take it anymore. But at least, at least with Amazon, you don't pay until it actually ships. So do not miss that. Do not miss on that. And of course, because we never really touched on it exactly. Only 6 days left to go, and Ken's gone sideways. He's totally lost it. Only 6 days left to go on the Haslab. I believe last time I checked, it was 15,770. We're getting so close, guys. We're literally 200 away from Glenda. Guys, definitely. If you're in on this, you're in on this. Getting Glenda, to me, anyway, I don't have to speak for anybody else. I think 2 figures along with everything you get with the Haslab is pretty cool, right? Yep. If we actually, and the last day, as everyone here knows, it skyrockets like crazy. Emily even sort of mentioned it in her discussion for the post. She said literally it was a lot for the last 2 days of the his tank.
15,804 is what it's at right now.
Exactly.
Michael,
So even 100 more than I thought it was, right?
That's
so
awesome.
Crazy.
Get me my Glenda, damn it.
I know.
You know what? You guys need to back it so Ken can finally get his Glenda. Let's do it for Ken.
That whole Glenda video, that whole Glenda history video, if you really boil it down, was just a sob story about missing the original.
Oh.
That's really what it was. And oh, by the way, there's a backstory too.
It was
same. But yeah,
but in terms of anything I'm working on, guys, I'm just here, you know, posting as much as I can, and just, you know, having good conversations with great people, especially the people here over at Toy Habits. Guys, if you haven't already, give Toy Habits a like and a follow. Tell them that I sent you, that Ken sent you. Give Ken Toy Kennections a like and a follow, please, guys. All these guys are wonderful, you know, content creators, and they deserve all your love and support. You guys are the best. Definitely check out all the Patreon channels and pages that they have, and of course, follow them all on the social medias. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's been a blast.
And Michael, you wanted to say something?
Oh, it's left me. Sorry. I was gonna say, I remember now. Hasbro just opened up sales to the EU, so you know, they have a more expensive market for this Haslab. So I think we're probably going to get to 19 just because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just announced today.
You know, I could open my mouth and say something about Jurassic Park, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let that happen for another day,
right?
Because we'll be here forever.
Yeah.
International orders? Wow, what a concept!
I know, right? Come on,
really? That's incredible. And I just want to thank both Ken and Jay for being on our show. If you guys don't watch them, I don't know where you've been, but they have some incredible YouTube channels. Ken, you're doing some amazing work on Toy Kennections. Give him a like, a follow, check him out. He's got some awesome history videos, retrospectives, just so much knowledge, and just lets you learn like so many things you would never know about all these great lines that we love to collect. So please be sure to check him out. And Jay, of course, the biggest heart, so much fun on Mega J Retro. And MJ, our collector, he's got both his channels. Be sure to check him out. Give him a like, give him a follow, subscribe to his channel, and he is so much fun. And Jay, you have like the most kind, you know, heartfelt, just totally honest reaction to all the things that you do. And I just love, you know, how much fun you're having on your channel, and just you're so authentic, and you care. You actually care about the fandom and all of the fellow toy collectors, everybody out in the chat. You take so much time to just say hello to everybody and goodbye to everybody, and show people's comments, because you care. You really care. And I think you go the extra mile that nobody else does. And I want to thank you for that, because I think you're doing something incredible for the whole toy community, and what you've done for us as well, and be such a friend of our channel. You are incredible. Ken, I'm so proud of where you've come. Your channel is skyrocketing, doing so well. It's growing, and we expect it to just go really far in the future. I think you're doing incredible work. Keep up the good work, my friend. Thank you also for being on the channel. And Michael, you know, what can I say? You are the most incredible partner. Since I'm glutting out like all these compliments, I have to compliment Michael. He is the heart and soul of Toy Habits, the backbone of the operation. Wouldn't be here without him, and you just do incredible work. And thank you for being such a great friend. Since I'm saying thanks to everybody, and thank everybody in the chat. Thank you guys, because we do all of this for you, and without your support, we can't be here. So
what a community, all of us,
for sure,
all of us.
They are great.
Can we just acknowledge Toy Sorceress and how awesome she is? Like, seriously, what's
there we go.
Yes,
there we go.
Without Toy Sorceress, honestly, that's just crazy. Like,
she's been an amazing partner, and I'm so glad to be doing this with her. She works hard, she plays hard. We have so much fun together doing this, and she's amazing. I'm so thankful that I met
so much fun.
Thank you, guys. We had a great time. Be sure to keep on the lookout. We may pop up at any moment, because it is Comic-Con season. So check out toyhabits.com. We are updating that on a daily basis, basically. So check it out for all of the latest toy news. Go to our Instagram, our YouTube. We post on our community page there whenever we put a new article up. And unless anyone has anything else to say, we can sign off. And thank everybody for being here. I know the lights are already going on Ken. So
Well,
I just shut the garage. I got to get something in the oven. Apparently, that's why my phone turned sideways, because my wife sent the message saying 400 degrees, bake, steam, 20 minutes. Make sure you get it done. So she said do it at 6:30, and it's 6:28. That's why I want to say thanks to all of you. You're the best. No, it's okay. I anyway, whatever. Just do it. Do your thing. Do your thing.
We're good. We're golden. We're golden. Thanks you guys for being on the show.
I do want to mention really quickly just before if anybody's going to be at PowerCon, I will be there. So
right.
Ramen Toys apparently going to be there as well. Yep. So he's going to be bringing some awesome samples.
Oh, ace.
So yeah, very, very cool. I think he might even as a quick tip, I think he actually might be bringing the Ramen Racer. So that'll be really good. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, he will actually be bringing the Red Gullwing as well. So for all you mask fans out there, that'll be a huge thing. But yeah, guys, if you see me at PowerCon, definitely don't be shy. Stop me, say hi. We'll take a selfie together. And yeah,
I want to go now too.
I wish it was in Anaheim.
I think, and here's the thing: I want to try and plan next year's San Diego Comic-Con. I wonder if all of us can actually get down there. I think that'll be a really cool thing. As Ken said, it is actually a really fun thing to meet people in person, and I would love to meet anybody who happens to be there. So lots of fun. So guys, enjoy San Diego Comic-Con. Enjoy all the cons that are coming up. Let's not. I don't know if you can enjoy. A Walmart collector con. I don't think anyone's going to enjoy that, but let's see what we can do, and let's just keep collecting, guys, because
let's just get through the Walmart collector con. Let's put it that way. Let's survive it.
Let's do it.
Yes, and it's con season, y'all, and this is going to be an insane month. And you usually don't see us midweek, but thank you, Ken. Thank you, Jay, the toy community. We love you, and we hope you are as excited about these reveals and leaks as we are. Hope everyone has a great rest of your night, and we will see you when we see you. Bye, y'all.